Look what I ran into. First off, I want to give all praises to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone who rule and teach well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, to the Akim out there on the highways and byways, making their bodies a living sacrifice, right? As the scriptures tells them to do so. I want to say shalom to you, brothers. Keep fighting a good fight of faith. Continue to spread the good news, which is the gospel, spread it across the four corners of the earth. Shalom to you, brothers. To the Aquath that's out there listening and learning, all right, in silence, all right. Reverencing your husbands if you have one, all right, and asking questions from your husband if you have one. I'll say shalom to your sisters as well, all right. Well, I ran across this little article right here back in 1988. They in January 1988 from The Economist, all right? And 30 years ago, they was talking about this world currency, right? 30 years, they was talking about this world currency changing from the paper dollar, right? Changing from the paper dollar to some new form of currency. All right, so they were already predicting that the change would come, all right, with this currency, because it was all a part of this NWO, all right. Those who don't know what that NWO is it's that right here, that plan that they had, this plan that they had, been planning for years, man. And I would say about for centuries, man. They've been planning on, doing away with the world currency to bring the whole, world under one currency. Right now, you have, China. They have a currency. These different countries and different nations. They have their own currency, man. Right? Some is backed by gold, and some is, whatever it is. And yeah, their plan is to be under one world economy, one world currency, which really is a one world ideology, man, which really leads and stems back to Nimrod, man. Okay? What did Nimrod do? Hey, Nimrod, let's just go there. I think it's in Genesis chapter 10, but don't quote me. Let me find it first. It's lucky. Alright. KJV. What's going on here? Okay. Okay, I don't know what's going on here. Let me see. Yeah, Genesis chapter 10. Let me go here. Alright. Yep, Genesis chapter 10. might not be 10. It might be 11. Yep, this is right here. It's a universal language. Universal, right? Meaning the universe or the world. One world language. Okay? Babel, that word Babel means confusion, as you can see. All right? It said, and the whole earth was of one language and of one speech. This is Genesis chapter 11, verse 1. And I brought this up because during the Tower of Babel, under Nimrod, they were trying to get a one language, right? Preferably because, the Lord destroyed the earth, with what? Water. Okay? And they were trying to build that tower to avoid another flood like when the Lord destroyed it the first time. So they didn't trust in the Lord, of course. They didn't trust in the Lord. They didn't have faith in the Lord. You see what I'm saying? They like, oh, you know what, man? Shit, he didn't destroy the earth or whatever, with water. You know what? This time we gonna try to come together, under one consent. And guess what? We're gonna try to build this tower to the heavens. All right? Yeah, they didn't. This is what happened. And guess what? This is the same mentality that they have today. All right? What they're trying to do is what? Avoid destruction. The first time the Lord destroyed the earth with water, man. Hey, and this time it's going to be what? With fire. All right? And they know this. They know this. The earth is about to be not the earth, not the whole earth, of course, but parts of this earth is finna be destroyed, man. With fire, the Lord is about to bring judgment upon this earth. Okay, no different than what He did back during the time of Noah. Okay, it says, and the whole earth was of one language and of one speech. And it came to pass as they journeyed from the east that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. It says, and they said one to another, right? Go to let us make brick and burn them thoroughly, right? And they had made brick for stone, and slime had they for mortar, right? And what do you use that for, man? You use that to build a house, all right? In this case, they're building a tower, all right? It said, verse 4, and they said, go to let us build us a city and a tower whose top may reach unto heaven, all right? And let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth, right? You see that? They coming under one consent, and the heathen is raging pretty much. The people is raging right now. I'm going to the word rage. They're consulting against one another. Hey, let's come together, man. Let's build this tower. All right. Cause if this don't happen, we gonna be scattered abroad the face of the earth. All right. You see, they fearing that flood when the Lord brought judgment on the earth, man. It says, and the Lord came down to see the city and the tower which the children of men built it. And see, these are the children of men. These weren't the sons of God, man. There was 3 classifications, man. You got the sons of God, all right? You got the children of men, and you got the children of the wicked, sons of the wicked. Okay? And it said they was building a city in the tower, man. Hey, the Lord came down to see that. The Lord, of course, He had His prophets down there. All right? It said, and the Lord said, behold, His name is Yahweh. Behold, the people is one. You see that? The people is one. Okay? It said, and and that's, like I said, that's what they trying to do right now, man. As you can see with the article I brought out, All right, pretty much it's gonna be a one world currency, man. All right, this is what they're planning. It says, "Go, let us slack it." It says, verse 6, Genesis 11:6, that behold, the people is one, and they have all one language. It said, and this they began to do, and now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do. Right? Hey, say when uh, if if and when these people, you know, um, come with this new world government or new world order, right, or new world currency, you know, it'll be nothing that they can. Because guess what? They're gonna have everything. They're gonna be in control over everything. All right. Right, but what the Lord say, man? Hey, as soon as he about to fill his belly, man, that's when the Lord gonna come in, and destroy it, man. He gonna come back. Okay. Though it tarry, wait for it. I mean, the Lord mean what he say. Okay. Roughly paraphrasing, you know. Soon as they about to fill their belly, man. Okay. It says, go, let us go. It's verse 7. Go to let us go down and there confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech. So the Lord Yahweh, right, scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of all the earth, and they left off to build the city. All right. It said, and there is the name of it called Babel, because the Lord did there confound the language of all the earth. And from thence did the Lord scatter them abroad upon the face of the earth. You see that? So, like I say, man, this is, hey, instead of the Lord scattering us, we already scattered. Not we, but well, we are. But we already scattered across the face of the earth now, man. All right? Still from this time. Still from this time. We just scattered more abroad now on the earth. Okay? And guess what? The Lord gonna destroy it this time with fire. All right? This is why they're trying to, my point is, this is why they're trying to come under 1%. This is not a new order that they're coming up with, man. This is ever since from the beginning of times, man. All right, as you can see, me reading it to you right now. All right, why? Because they don't trust the Lord. They don't trust in the Lord Yahweh and His Son Yahweh Shai. They don't trust in the Lord and Yahweh. Hey, if they did, they would be in the business of building the tabernacle of David, man. All right, they would be preparing, not under their own consent. They would be trying to prepare for the Lord to return. But yet and still, they are preparing for their rulership. They're preparing for the next superpower to come in place. All right? That's why the scriptures say, why did the heathen rage and imagine a vain thing? They're raging right here in Genesis chapter 11. And guess what? They're raging right now to this day. Why? Because they think that, China think that, or the next superpower, that they really think that they're going to be the next one in rulership. All right? Under this new world order, under this new world currency. Okay? Which they're raging and it's not going to happen, man. This is prophesied that we're in the last last captivity, man. Okay, we are in our last captivity, man. Okay, so I'm gonna read a couple of lists. I might read the whole thing. It's not that long, but we're gonna see what goes on. Bring out a couple scriptures, and we're gonna get out of here. But I just want you to examine this bird, right? is the phoenix, man. It's a mythological bird. All right. It was said that this mythological bird, burned itself. Made a pile, and burned itself. All right, and knew it knew he was finna die. Matter of fact, let's just look it up. I looked it up in the etymon. Let's just look up phoenix. I think I spelled it right. Yeah, it's a phoenix. It's a mythological bird of great beauty, worship where? In Egypt, right? And where we at now? And spiritually, Sodom and Egypt, man. Pursuing the Revelation chapter 11, verse 8. Right now, man, we in spiritual Egypt right now. As you can see in the back of a dollar, man, what is it? It's the pyramid, man. With Latin writings on there, all right? Annuus Conceptus, man, all right? Novus Ordo Seclorum, which is what? New World Order, man. And he said the Lord favors the enterprise, all right? Hey, at one point, he did favor their enterprise. This is why they was able to get all this stuff and be in rulership, man. Esau, Edom, right? Hey, but the Lord is not going to favor it. Matter of fact, he's starting not to favor it now, man, because their sins are reaching to heaven. And it's time for the new rulership, to come in place. What's that? The kingdom is translated from one people to another. What's that? Ecclesiastes. Let's get that. Ecclesiastes 10. Salakia. Ecclesiastes chapter 10. It says, Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 8. It says, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches gotten by deceit. You see that? Hey, these riches that these elites got, man, it is gotten by lies, rape, robbery, and murder, and slavery. All right? This is how they got their kingdom. This is how they got their enterprise. Okay? But this must be translated from one people to another. All right? It said, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated, what? From one people unto another, man. Job 9:24, there says the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. All right? Hey, but the Lord is preparing for the earth to be put in the rightful seat, into the righteous seat, man. And guess what? And with that, guess what? Everybody's going to flourish. Because the kingdom and the earth is going to be ruled under Yahweh Shai, of course, and under King David. All right? The prophets and everything, everybody, the Israelites is going to rule, man. What's that in 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 9? Right? 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 9 says, let me go there. All right, 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 9 says this, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followed, man. All right? That's what's good. That's we got next, man. We next in line, man. The Israelites is gonna rule, man. Okay? Under Yahweh Shai, of course, man. Under Yahweh Shai, of course, man. Right? So that's why the kingdom was translated from one people to another, man, because they are under this earth right now is under wicked management, man. A slumlord, pretty much. Okay? Slumlord, man. Let's look up what's a slumlord. What is a slumlord? A slumlord, okay, it said a slumlord is what? A landlord of slum property. You know what I'm saying? Especially one who profiteers. Hey, this motherfucker profiting, excuse my language, he's profiting off this, off this property which is called the earth. And he's excreting all the minerals and the land of the land. All right, he's a slumlord, man. He ain't treating the land right. It's not a land Sabbath. He's not resting the land. All right, it said a slumlord is a slang term for a landlord, generally an absentee landlord with more than one property, which is the earth, right? Who attempts to maximize profit by minimizing spending on property maintenance, often in deteriorating neighborhoods and the tenants that they can intimidate. See, and this is exactly we're explaining Esau Edom right now, man. Because when you go to his neighborhoods, guess what? It's flourishing. You know, it's flourishing. They have the best of everything. But when it comes to Jake, in their neighborhoods, guess what, man? We living in filth and squalor. All right? But you get Jake a gift. Hey, they think that they, living in a 16 chapel mansion, man. With cathedral ceilings and shit. All right? But yeah, I mean, this is a slumlord, man. Right? And the way the earth is, we thinking now, oh, the earth is beautiful. The earth, man, listen, if we had spiritual eyes and can see how the earth was when we first created it, when we first helped create it under Yahweh Shai, man, which was the first spirit created. Hey, guess what, man? We'll be looking back like, what is going on? If we had spiritual eyes to really go back to see how the earth was really beautiful like that. When it was under a righteous rulership, man, under Adam. Okay. We can see, man, that right now, man, it's like I don't know if y'all seen in the Matrix, man. In the Matrix, it was terrible, man. All right. This is how the earth really is, pretty much in the movie Matrix. All right. So let's go back to this phoenix. It says mythical bird of great beauty worshipped in Egypt. Okay. It says, like I said, we in spiritually Egypt. It said the bird was the only one of its kind, right? And after living 500 or 600 years in Arabian wilderness, built for itself a funeral pile of spices and aromatic gums, right? Lighted the pile with the fanning of his wings, right? And was burned upon it. It says, but from its ashes revived in the freshness of youth, right? Slaki, give me 1 second. Salakia. Yeah. So right. So as you can see, this is what this bird represents, right? Which makes total sense with what they're trying to do, man. They're trying to do away with that old currency, and guess what? Revived themselves. Why? Because that idea of that paper currency, man, it done ran out. Especially when you took the gold, on Jekyll, what's that? Jekyll Island, all right? Jekyll Island, where all those elites met, on that island, man, to come up with this currency. All right? I forgot who said it, but he said, "Give me the world's currency, and I don't care who make the laws." All right? Yeah, give me the currency. Why? Because they'll be able to bribe, or they'll be able to give gifts, you know, to whoever write the laws, man. So the laws will go into their favor, not the actual people. That's why it's unrighteous dealings, man. Injuries and riches gotten by deceit. Unrighteous dealings, man. And with that, they'll be able to what? Push forth unrighteous decrees. Let's get that. Let's get that. All right. It said, "Woe unto them." Woe means destruction. Isaiah 10:1. It says, "Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and write that Salaki and that right grievousness, right, which they have prescribed, man." And that word, when you go into that word to prescribe, let's go into that word right quick. Yeah, prescribe. Let's see what this say. It said to write, to record. You see that? To engrave, right? They prescribed this new system that they're trying to engrave and record digitally. That's crazy, man. Pursuing to what? Revelation chapter 13 and 16, right? He causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a what? Charagma, right? When you go into that word charagma, it goes into charax, right? Which means what? To inscribe or engrave, right? Or impale. And when you go deep into that word, which we might go into, you're gonna be able to record. And this is what they're doing. This is an unrighteous decree, man. This MOTB, man. All right? Which goes into this new currency. Because what? Everybody's going to have to get, pretty much engraved, all right, in their right hands or their foreheads, all right, in order to be into this new world currency and this new world order, this new world system. All right. So it's funny how this links up, this unrighteous decrees when you go up to prescribe. This is what they're trying to prescribe us, man. This is the new remedy that they're trying to prescribe us. And it's totally for, 2/3 of our people, man, and the wicked and the sons of men. Okay? Written down, recorded. What's going to be recorded, man? Your health history on there, your monetary history, and your monetary. What else? Your levels on whether you're getting mad, whether you sad. Everything is going to be there on that charagma. Okay. It's an unrighteous decree, man. It's prescribed strictly for you, Jay. And this is the same idea that they had in the Tower of Babel, man, Genesis chapter 11, man. Under one world order. They said on the back of your dollar, man. Nuevus Ordo Seclorum, man, is Latin for New World Order. And the plan was always to change that currency, which takes us back to the article that we're going to read, and we're going to get up out of here. It says, get ready for a world currency. And mind you, this is in what? 2000, it's like this is in January 9th, 1988, where this article came out. And guess what? It said get ready for a world currency by what? 2018, man. This is exactly when it started to crumble down. Hey, 2020, what happened? Worldwide. That what? That how can I say it? That Ovid with a C in the front. Ovid-19 with a C in the front. Okay? And what the whole world shut down due to this little unrighteous decree, man. The whole world shut down. I can remember around that time, man. Around that time, I had a restaurant, 2019. In 2020, everything shut down, which put a stop to all businesses except for essential businesses. You know, the Lord had me had it to where my business was up and going still because it was an essential business. But everything else, man, around the world was shut down. Okay, but this was 30 years later. You think it's a coincidence? It says, get ready for a world currency. Get ready for the phoenix. And as you can see what is going on right here, that phoenix, remember I told you about the mythological bird from Egypt where it burnt itself? Look at what's going on and look at the dollars, all right, that's burning under it. Okay, look at the dollars that's burning under it. If you can notice. What is that saying, man? They're burning and doing away with this cash. And guess what? They're implementing a new form or new way of currency, a new form of currency, which is digital. The CBDC, man. All right. The central bank digital currency. All right. The CBDC. There's something called the universal basic income, right? That they're trying to have everybody, be connected to. It's called UBI, Universal Basic Income. Okay, look this up. All right, and with this income, everybody is going to have to be up on it. If you have that, Karachma, Revelations 13:16. The M to the A to the R to the K. All right. But as you can see now, hey, it's burning up. And remember I told you that mythological bird, right? It revived itself. It said, but from its ashes revived, all right, in the freshness of you. What is revived? Right? It says to regain consciousness, recover health. You see that? Restore. You see that? And what is it trying to restore, man? Hey, that new world currency, man. They're trying to revive themselves because, for one, they know, they about to, this about to go be in World War III, man. They're trying to revive themselves also because, it's other nations that's 100 years ahead of them, man, pretty much. Like China, all right? Like Russia in some aspects, all right? But America still has their military, all right? But America still has the military, all right? So this is what they're trying to revive, okay? So let's go back. It says, let's get to reading. It said 30 years ago from now, Americans, Japanese, Europeans, all right, and people in many other rich countries, which really is the NATO, which is the military force of the military force of this union. All right. It said NATO, which is all these European, a lot of these European countries, all right, is a part of NATO, America, of course, all right. it says, and some relatively poor ones will probably be paying for their shopping with the same currency. What it say in Revelation 13, it said that they all might buy and sell. They ain't gonna be able to buy and sell except they have this charagma, this M to the A to the R to the K. It says prices will be quoted not in dollars, yen, or Denmarks. As you can see, this dollars right here is being burnt up. Okay, it said prices will be quoted not in dollars, yen, or Denmark or D-marks, but in, let's say, the Phoenix, right, which was the revival of the dollar, which will be what? The digital currency. It said the Phoenix will be favored by companies and shoppers because it will be more convenient than today's national currency. You see that? It's convenient. As you can see, what? Amazon, right? Everything is what? Being able to get paid online. You're gonna have to. You can pay with. You can get anything from Amazon, man. You can get groceries, and to get them sent to your house. You can get what? Food sent to your house. If you want to order from, McDonald's or whatever it is, everything is what? At your convenience. And this is what they're trying to get you zeroed in on and comfortable on, domesticate you on. What? To depend on this one world system. Now that you're dependent on this system, guess what? Now it's gonna be so more easier for you to conform to this new world currency, which is the digital currency, which is what? That charagma, which is that C to the H to the I to the P. Okay? It says the Phoenix will be favored by companies and shoppers because it will be more convenient than today's national currency. And it is convenience. It's a convenience, and it works out in some ways, But you have to understand the gradualism or the gradual steps that they're taking and that they have took, all right, to be able to implement this new world system. You have to understand what's coming next. What's coming next? What's coming next? Now you can what? Swipe your hand across the barcode and pay for your items. Okay? Facial recognition. All these things were gradual steps, man. And now it's here. It says, which by then will seem a quaint because of much disruption to economic life in the last 20th century. You see that? It says, at the beginning of 1988, this appears an outlandish prediction. They didn't believe that in 1988. Hey, they didn't believe that. They said, this is outlandish. This will never work. It said proposals of eventual monetary, which is the money, union proliferated 5 and 10 years ago, but they hardly envisaged the setbacks of 1987. It said the governments of the big economies tried to move an inch or two towards a more managed system of exchange rates. A logical preliminary, it might seem too radical monetary reform for lack of cooperation in their underlying economic policies. They bungled it horribly and provoked the rise in interest rate that brought the stock market crash of October. These events have chastened exchange rates reformers, right? So the market crash taught them that the pretense of policy cooperation can be worse than nothing, and that until real cooperation is feasible, until governments surrender some economic sovereignty, you see, further attempts to peg currency will flounder. All right. So yeah, this is a part of the elite's plan, man. Right? It's to cripple the system, you know, cripple the system. You know what I'm saying? To where it's so crippled. You know, you relying on something else, which is that digital currency, man. And this is the whole idea of the stock market. All right. Now what? You can buy and trade and sell what on the stock market digitally through your phone, man. On your phone. It used to be where you had to go in New York, where the stock market, the head of the stock market is. It used to be where you go in there. You know, you had to go in, get your bids. You know, take your bids down. You know, to the runner, and the runner would take it to the one who's running everything, and place your bids. But now you can do it digitally. Okay, I did a little history on that before because I was in school for it a little bit, you know. But yeah. So this is what you know your elites are planning. All right, a new world economy. It says the biggest change in the world economy since the early 1970s is that flows of money have replaced trades in goods, right, as the force that drives exchange rates. As a result of the relentless integration of the world's financial markets, what that mean? Integration, that means is the coming together, right? Under what? Under one consent. All right, they coming together under one consent under this new world order, man. All right. It said world's financial markets. It said differences in national economic policies can disturb interest rates for expectation of future interest rates only slightly, yet still call forth huge transfers of financial assets from one country to another. These transfers swamp the flow of trade revenues in their effect on the demand of and supply for different currencies, and hence in their effect on exchange rates as telecommunication technology, right, continues to advance. Hey, and what they doing now? What they got now? That AI, artificial intelligence. This is what they pushing real hard now. It's continuing to advance. As it say, we're in 2023 now. And now you have robots dancing, robots working. All right? Artificial intelligence, man. That transhumanism. That biotechnology, where they hacking life. You hacking life and you're merging man with machine. You know, movies like Terminator 2. I mean, like Terminator 2, but Terminator shows you that. All right. And this was where Terminator was in the 80s. So this is their prediction of showing you, hey, what was the world to come. All right. They use it through their movies. They show you through their movies. It says, to advance, it says these transactions will be cheaper, which they are, and faster still with uncoordinated economic policies. Currencies can get only more volatile, right? And they are faster. You can get things right now at the drop of your hand, at the push of a button. You can get it sent to your house, man. Okay? You get it sent right to your house, man, at the push of a button, man. All right? So, think it not strange, man, when the Lord said, hey, in Revelations, let's get that. Revelations 13, when the Apostle John was on the Isle of Patmos, and he was given that vision from the Lord to bring this. It says Revelations 13 and 14, and deceived them Slakia, right? Revelation 13 and 15, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, all right, which is Esau, Edom, right? It said that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many would not worship the image of the beast should be killed, man. An example of that is Muammar Gaddafi, man. All right. Saddam Hussein, right? Those they didn't want to comply, okay, with this new world currency or this new world, that they had their own currency. Okay? They got their gold and all that shit back in their money, whatever that's their form of currency, which is really the old time currency. That's the old way of spending things. But those are examples who would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And that word killed is not always translated to being put to death. The word killed can be going into what, like, you can be cut off, man. You just cut off from society. Enemy of the state shows you that. With Will Smith, the movie Enemy of the State, with Will Smith, it shows you that. Let's see if I can find that. Killed. Oh, no, I went to the wrong one. Slack. It says,
Strong's G 615. Apactano.
Right, it says to kill in any way, whatever. It said to destroy, to allow to perish, metaphorically to extinguish or abolish, to inflict mortal death, to deprive of spiritual life and procure eternal misery in hell. And we in hell right now, shit. You pretty much being cut off from the system. All right. Oh, it said of separation. There you go. That's the point. Of separation, of local separation. All right. What are you separating? You separating? They're gonna separate you from society, man. You're not gonna be able to partake in any of the festivities of this new world order, right? Or the trinkets, man. You're gonna be an enemy of state, man. They're gonna erase all your information. It's gonna be like you. It's gonna be like you. You don't exist. Hey, when you see that movie Enemy of State, they did the same thing to him. They made it to where he didn't exist. All right? Of separation of a part from the world. You see that? I mean, it's like from the whole. It says separation of a part from the whole, right? Of any kind of separation of one thing from another, by which the union or fellowship of the two is destroyed. You see that? The relationship that you once had with this system will be destroyed, man, if you don't take part of this Revelation 13 and 16, which is the charagma. All right, Revelation 13 and 16 says, and he causes all. Who's the he? Esau, Edom, man. Both small and great. You see that? Both small and great, right? Where you got a small position or a great position, in this world, right? Where that goes from the little labor workers to the what the highest celebrity. Okay, your status goes into your status. Rich and poor, okay, goes into whether you're rich or whether you're poor. Free or bond, whether you're in jail, you know what I'm saying? Locked up in jail, whatever it is. Guess what? to receive a mark, right, in their right hand or in their foreheads. It says 17, that no man might buy or sell. It said no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. You see that? Hey, so it's letting you know, man. Hey, and he ain't got that barcode. You know, if you don't, if you ain't got my last name, pretty much, shit, he don't want nothing to do with you, right? So, yeah, man. Oh, let's go into this word mark. Let's go into this word. All right. It says a stamp or imprint or imprinted mark. A stamp, boom, boom, what? Thing carved, graven work. That's that prescribed. You remember? Let's go into the root. A pill or a stake or a palisade. You see that? It says, go into the root, to write with reference to the form of the letter. This is the point right here. It says, it said to commit of writings, things not to be forgotten. Write down, record. You see that? Record. And this is what they're going to do, man. That's what all that information is going to be recorded, and that data is going to be recorded right there on that C to the H to the I to the P, man. Okay? Hey, just because it hasn't came to your doorstep don't mean it's not here. All right? So, yeah. So, yeah, with that, there you go. This is in 1988, and it's being fulfilled right now as we speak. So, So with that, let me see if I can get another scripture. Yep, with that, give all praises to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Kakadash. If you can, look up this little article from 1988, and you can read it for yourself. Shalom.